joining us live on this webinar. We do have the chat feature enabled. So please, if at any time you have questions throughout the webinar, you can drop those in the chat and I will get to them throughout the presentation. My name is Carrie Talbot, and I am a student success advisor and curriculum specialist here at ICANN. Again, welcome to today's Wednesday webinar on exploring careers. Tonight, we are going to talk all about career exploration, steps to take throughout that exploration, but then also that post-secondary exploration, education and training as well. So we have a few resources available to you on our website at icansucceed.org/materials. We have a few different materials in that resource library. You can go to icansucceed.org and find our resource library by clicking on the upper right as well. But that first one I wanted to mention is that Life After High School, a guide to career and college planning. This has all the steps about career and college planning within that, from the very beginning explorations all the way through how to pick a college that matches your career interests and that process of applying. We also have Countdown to Your Future calendars on our website in that resource library. This is for every grade in high school, 9th through 12th, and it is month by month items that students can be doing in their grade level, about 3 to 5 items that they can be doing each month to help them stay on track for their post-secondary education, training, and career options that they have. In case you are unfamiliar with who ICANN is, we do offer a wide variety of advising services, all about career exploration, planning, selection, helping for that college as well. So we help with FAFSA completion, helping families and students complete that FAFSA as well. You can make an appointment to meet with us virtually or in our offices that we have located throughout the state. You can go to our website, icansucceed.org/APT, or right on our website on the main page, there is a link to schedule a meeting appointment as well. Again, we take appointments virtually via Zoom or in our offices throughout the state of Iowa. So tonight, we're going to talk about why it's important to plan. Many students may, when we ask them how many of them thought about what they want to do after high school, it's a mixed bag of if students think about that question or not. We're going to talk about the importance of planning and setting those goals. And one way that we can talk about and do that is through the people we know and the jobs they have. We've seen people with jobs they love or jobs that they hate. And so we can start looking at or thinking, what do we want to do that's going to make our life satisfaction better potentially for us as individuals. So the more you explore and plan, the more you are likely to find a job that you love. Research does show that those that explore and those that plan are more successful, find careers that they like. Even if what they planned in high school at any point changes, they still have more success and find what they do like and what fits them. So one of our first things we want to talk about is setting goals. So it's important to set those education and career goals for students. Setting these goals based on assessment results and interests. So we're going to talk about in a little bit career assessments students can be taking. So creating these goals about those assessment results or the interest students have to further explore. Career planning is an ongoing process. It is not a one and done. You pick what you want to do and then you're good to go. It is an ongoing process where you need to look at the skills needed for that career and potentially build those skills, looking at the subjects or the topic areas to study, gaining experiences in those areas to help you solidify if you want that career as later on in life. And it's also important to look at a financial plan when setting goals. Post-secondary education and training is an investment. There might be money spent. So it's important to create a goal around that financial plan of between now and your career, how you are going to fund that. Again, by not having goals, you can increase your overall costs and debt because you don't know what you want. So you start exploring later when it starts costing a lot of money, as opposed to in high school when you can do a lot of this exploration for free or low cost. So when we work with students, we like to kind of put them through a little activity about what are your goals. just writing down that goal, not just writing that goal down, but writing down what do you need to reach that goal, writing down those concrete steps to achieve that goal. Writing those steps, those action steps are an important piece to achieving that goal. Yes, it's important to have that goal written down, but if we don't have action steps to take to get to that goal, we aren't more than likely going to make steps to actually get that goal down the road. So then it's okay, we've set these goals. How are we going to get to that career? How are we going to get to where we want to go? And with that is post-secondary education and training. There's a wide variety of post-secondary education and training that students can take. There are college degrees. These are 4 or more years of schooling. These would be your bachelor's degrees, your master's, your PhD, your advanced training. There's career and technical programs in a community college or a tech school. These are usually 1 to 2 year programs. There are college diploma or certificate training programs, again, often housed within community colleges. These are programs that last 6 to 9 months. This could be something like a CNA, a certified nurse assistant, or a dental hygienist, or some welding or other industrial tech programs. There's also the military. You can join the military to get education and training. Or union apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are another form of education and training. Depending on the program, you're in an apprenticeship, you're on the job working within that apprenticeship for 1 to 2, 3 years, depending on how long that apprenticeship program is, working under those masters before you can become that master within that apprenticeship. And there is also self-employment where you can start your own business. So we talk education and training because education and training is important. A majority of jobs, about 72 to 75% of the jobs or careers currently out there require some form of post-secondary education and training. So what does this mean? Well, to make it a little real world for students, we like to talk about how much money they might be making at a minimum wage job, but that they can have in high school right now, or even after they graduate high school, if they don't go on to post-secondary education and training. Minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. If they work 8 hours a day, that would be $58 a day. If they do that 5 days a week, that's $290 a week. And if they do that for 52 weeks in the year, they're making about $15,000 a year on that minimum wage salary. If we up that to $10 an hour, that comes down to a rough yearly salary of $20,000 a year. So as we can see, sometimes education and training can help with getting a bigger salary as well. So if we settle for a minimum wage job or even a 10-hour job, where does that land on our income? You can see that poverty guideline is if we are making $20,000, $15,000 a year, our poverty guideline is going to be sitting at about a household of 2 to 3 people. So we talk about education and training. Like I mentioned, 72% of all jobs require some form of education and training beyond high school. Having education and training beyond high school, no matter what level of education that is, like we've mentioned before, anywhere from on-the-job training, military apprenticeships, through those advanced college degrees, any level of education and training will increase the salary that students can make money after high school with those advanced degrees. So is it worth it? Well, like I've mentioned, that monetary benefit there is. A high school graduate, on average, their salary is $45,000. You can see by getting an associate's degree, it jumps up to $62,000, and bachelor's and apprenticeships are in the $80,000 range for those annual salaries. So getting that advanced degree or getting that post-secondary education and training, associate's degree and beyond, can help expedite that salary. There's also non-monetary benefits to education and training, and we do want to highlight those because those are important benefits of education and training as well. Those include improved physical, mental health, as well as emotional health, greater life satisfaction and well-being. You have more career options and chances for advancement with that post-secondary education and training, as opposed to just a high school graduate diploma. You have better job quality, stability, and flexibility. There is some of that job security potentially with having more post-secondary education training. Also, post-secondary education and training at any level, if they have any form of post-secondary, post-high school education and training, there is an increased civic engagement and community involvement. That post-secondary education and training also leads to stronger critical thinking, communication, and problem-solving skills, which are highly sought after skills in the workplace today for individuals to have. Again, that income with a 2-year degree or technical degree, just showing another snapshot of some of those careers and what those starting salaries are, along with those median and top salaries. By having that education and training, that 2-year degree, you can see what their starting and average salaries be within various careers, as shown on the screen. We also have this for apprenticeships. So again, we can see the various apprenticeships that students, if they take the apprenticeship route, what they would be getting. Apprenticeships do report their salaries a little differently. It is an hourly wage. The wage package includes their benefits. So all those benefits that are included in that wage package. The breakdown of just the hourly wage is that minimum that they could potentially be earning in these various apprenticeship programs, and this is within the state of Iowa. These again are just graphs to illustrate the importance of that post-secondary education and training for students. But while we talk education and training, it's important to talk about careers. Career exploration is vital to determining what you want to do. You, in fact, should probably pick your career before you pick the level of education and training that you select. Many a times, the career you want to take will dictate or let you know the level of education and training you need. For example, if you wanted to be a doctor, the level of education and training you need is that advanced medical doctorate degree, as opposed to an apprenticeship for becoming a doctor. So career exploration, career assessments are that first way to begin that exploration. These assessments are a series of short questions that help you identify strengths and interests, and they'll match your results to career pathways, industries, specific careers, education training requirements, as well as those salary expectations. You can take these career assessments as many times as you would like. We do recommend students taking them at least once a year because interests do change, skills do change, values do change. And so taking these once a year will reflect any of those changes, or it will solidify what they were thinking last year, still matches them, is still a great fit for them. And it might bring to forefront some new careers that they might not have thought about. Career assessments can be done based on interest. So the student's interest. Do they enjoy doing a certain activity, engaging in a certain project? For example, do I like working with building materials? Do you like that? Do you dislike that? Are you neutral about that? Do you like performing science experiments or writing essays? They answer questions like or dislike on their interests. Career assessments can also be done based on values that you have an individual that you want in the workplace. For example, how important is it that you are praised for doing a job well done? Is that a high value for you? It's really important, or it's not important. You don't need that praise for a job well done. Another value might be you like to have the freedom to choose what you want to do every day at work. How important is that value to you? Very important to not so important. So those are just different examples of a values type question that they might ask. Also, assessments can be done based on skills, the skill level that the student believes they have in certain areas. Their mathematical computation skills. How would you rate yourself? Above average in your math skills, average, or below average? What is your skill ability in deciphering or interpreting a math graph or a science graph data? What is your level of ability? Above average, average, or below average? Again, these are just the types of varieties, so skills, interests, and values assessments that students can take around career assessments to get careers that match those interests, skills, and values. These career assessments are all based in Holland's theory of career choice. This theory of career choice says that you are an individual with your own personality, and there are a bunch of careers or majors out there for you to pick from. There is a spot where those two overlap, you and a career overlap. That is where you match that career based on skills, interests, abilities, values. If you can find, and those matches will be many, it won't just be one, but by picking one of potentially those careers that match you in some form leads to greater success and satisfaction in life. So that is where all of these assessments come into play and why they are valued for students to partake in. Holland's theory does break down those personalities into these 6 areas. So a realistic person, they are hands-on, a doer type person. They might be great to be a mechanic. An investigative person is a problem solver. So this might become where a job might be an analyst. An artistic person would be a creative. So they go into the arts, maybe theater, drama, going into that type of career. A social person is a people person. So maybe social work, education, counseling, those are all examples of social type careers out there. Enterprising, it's that persuader or that leader. This might be a management, business management type degree or a finance degree and going into enterprising. Or conventional is that organizer. So liking things, type A personality, you like order to your career. So you might be a police officer within this realm. You like that structure of knowing what's going to happen in your career on a day-to-day basis. When you take these assessments, oftentimes they come up within career clusters, or you might be able to explore career clusters that fit you. Clusters are a way to organize jobs into groups that require similar knowledge or skill sets. So for example, there are 14 recognized career clusters and they are on the screen in front of you. So in advanced manufacturing or marketing and sales, these are career clusters. There are many careers that fit within each of these clusters, but every career that's in that cluster will have similar skills or knowledge needed for those careers. Having career clusters is a great way to explore. That way students have a wide variety of careers they can pick from instead of just saying, oh, it said I had to be a doctor. Instead, it said they are in the health and human services field. And so there's a wide variety of careers that fit. They might not be a doctor. They could potentially be a nurse, or they could be within a hospital setting working and not even in a doctor or a nurse type setting. There are subclusters, like I mentioned, and these are the careers within each of those clusters. So 2 popular ones, or ones that we highlight because of the subclusters that are in them, is advanced manufacturing. In advanced manufacturing, you can have careers in engineering, industrial machinery, production automation, robotics, safety and quality assurance. Those are careers within advanced manufacturing. So a student might not want to be in engineering, but they still are within that advanced manufacturing realm. Or digital technology, careers involving data and science and AI, network systems, cybersecurity, IT support and services, software solutions, and unmanned vehicle technology. So this is a wide variety of careers that you can go into by going into within the digital technology field. Oops. So again, exploring careers is vital when determining what you want to do after high school. We do this within our offices. We have a lot of resources on our website. We have a variety of assessment options, MyACT, Career One Stop, the RIASAC, which is that Holland theory, Princeton Review Career Quiz. You can go right on our website at icansucceed.org/career planning, or go to our website, icansucceed.org, and select the career planning tab on that main page, and you will see these different career assessments. We are going to walk through the MyACT assessment just so you can get an idea of what these assessments look like and further explore career options with students. But like I said, we do this on a daily basis, or we do this within our offices with students, and we can walk through some of these assessments or even those results with those students. So feel free to make an appointment with us so we can do this with any students as well. So like I mentioned, we will kind of show you what the ACT My Plans or ACT plans looks like. This is just one of many. but many would be similar to this. So ACT Plans does offer 3 assessments that students can take: interest, skills, and or interest, abilities, and values is what they call theirs. So first up is their interest assessment. As you can see, there are 72 questions within their interest inventory, and it asks you a question: use a microscope or other lab equipment. Is that something you like? You would like doing that in activity? Are you indifferent? I don't care one way or the other about engaging in that activity, or you dislike that activity. Dislike, I would not like to do this activity. These are supposed to be your first reaction to that statement. Use a microscope or other lab equipment. The student should, at first reaction, what is their thought about that? They click dislike, indifferent, or like, and the next question will populate. For the ACT plans to complete all 3 inventories, they usually say it takes students about 15 minutes if they are doing it, just that first reaction of with what they believe with that statement. Then is those ability statements. So this is going to be 18 questions that they're asked. They are asked about their communication ability, using words to describe people, places, events, ideas, or feelings. They're asked how they would rate themselves from low to high ability with this. It tells them, even gives them some descriptors: consider your ability to write interesting messages or emails, your ability to tell stories or speak to a class or a group, and your ability to prepare reports, essays, and articles. Also consider how you do in your courses like language arts, journalism, or speech. So based on that, how are your communication abilities, your ability to use words to describe people, places, events, ideas, or feelings? On this question, is it your lower ability, your lower 10% that you think you are? Are you below average? Are you average in your abilities for communication? Are you above average? Or is this high? You excel at this. Everybody says you are a stellar communicator. How would you rate yourself on communication? Again, once they select, it will take them to the next questions. Then they have their values questions. These are 22 questions. Again, it's that importance of a value for them. So in this one, working in an office. Working in an office setting for most of the time. How important is that to you? You do not want that. You want to avoid work like this. It's not important. I don't care if work has this or not. It's somewhat important to you, that meaning that you hope to find work that has this value. Or is it very important to you? You really want work that has this. It is important when students are doing the abilities and the values that they try to, especially on the abilities, it's important for them to try to not answer everything as average, trying to really think, okay, yes, this is a lower ability or this is a higher ability. Same with like or interests. It's important that they try to, as best they can, stay away from indifferent. If they constantly use those indifferent averages or those middle of the road answers, it's not going to tailor their results as best to them as if they were to say, yes, they really like something or dislike something on interest. Same with abilities. It's not going to be able to really match them if they're constantly using just that average mark and putting majority of their answers to average. So really saying, okay, that is an above average. That's a pretty low one for me, and trying to stay away from average. Values. This one they can use any of them that they have, that they feel those values are, but really evaluating what they really want or if they don't want that within that setting. So once they do complete all 3 assessments, they only have to complete one of them to get results. But the more assessments they complete, the better their results are tailored to them. So these assessments, these 3, will identify which clusters fit them as a student. The blue means that on their career map within ACT plans, if it's blue, that means one of those 3 tests matched that career cluster. If it is red, that means multiple of their assessments, so 2 or more of their assessments matched that cluster. If it's gray, that means ignore it, avoid it. None of your clusters or none of your assessments matched those clusters. So there aren't really any careers based on your assessments that match you as an individual. But each cluster, when they select one of the colors, blue or red, contains careers and education information within each of those careers that helps them to plan. ACT Plans also provides that a major map for students based on their assessments and aligns with career pathways. So it matches careers to majors and then majors to colleges that offer those programs of studies. Not all assessments offer this type of major mapping or major matching for students. ACT Plans is one that is unique, that does have those major maps that will map your interests, your abilities, and your values to majors. Again, majority of the assessments out there will just match them to careers. And then within that career, it'll tell you, okay, this is the type of education you should have. But utilizing these pathway salaries to determine your college budget. So when you are looking at these majors, it will tell you, potentially it's a 4-year major. On average, it costs this much to major to attend a college with this type of career degree. So you can use this to help setting those budgets to make those financial plans that we talked about earlier as well. So here it is again. So once students take these assessments, they can start creating those goals to say, okay, based on this, my interests fall within the veterinarian realm. Well, I know to be a veterinarian, based on my research and looking that up, I have to build my skills in my math and my science classes. So setting goals around those skills and even making sure you set goals to say, I want to take or I need to take more math and science classes, and listing which classes you're going to take throughout your high school career, or working on building those skills within those areas as well. It's also important then you want to be a veterinarian, how to gain more experience in that area to determine if you want to be a veterinarian. And we're going to talk about here some job shadows and internships. And then using that work with those major maps, knowing how much on average your education is going to be for that career, for that major field, setting that financial plan about how am I going to pay for that education and training to become that veterinarian. So that hands-on experiences, those job shadows, those internships. Job shadows are a way to spend a day with a professional in a career of interest. So if you're interested in being that veterinarian, going to a vet's office in town and talking and interviewing a veterinarian there to see if you like it. Yes, you might have pets or animals that you take to the vet, but you just get to see what they are doing for you and your individual. But if you go to that and have a job shadow, you get to see the different types of animals they might work with, or the different types of work that they do when they're not in front of you assessing your pet. So you get to see behind the scenes what they do in their offices in that back space. An internship is where you can take a more in-depth look at the career. Oftentimes you are hired by a company in an internship, anywhere from 40 to 100 and some odd hours. Sometimes you can get an internship that's paid. Otherwise, most frequently, they are unpaid internships. But you get to do the work for that company and really see on a day-to-day in and out business, is this something you like? Or after that internship, you realize, no, I only like one small portion of that career and I don't like what they do the other 80, 70% of the time. If you are interested in job shadows or internships, talking with your school counselor is a great idea. Many of the school counselors here have connections with different organizations, employers to set up on job shadows or internships. Some school districts have a person dedicated in their building that places students on job shadows and internships. So connecting with your school counselor to see what your district has to offer is a great idea for job shadows and internships. I always encourage students to go on a job shadow at least one a year, starting your sophomore year specifically, mostly because many places have age requirements, and so they don't always allow freshmen into job shadow, but if they do, great. Otherwise, I do always encourage students to get on at least one job shadow, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year, just to confirm that you still do like that career and that is something you want to go into, and going into different settings, different businesses to see, because each clinic, each place of business is different, even if it's the same career. Another way to get hands-on experience is to volunteer. Volunteering within your community. There are virtual volunteer opportunities now throughout the area that you can volunteer in that area and help solidify those interests, and also just volunteer in an area that may not be for your career, but is a passion for you. Clubs and organizations right at your high school is another great way to get hands-on experience, enhance your interest, explore if it's something that you like. Joining those clubs, sports, organizations, extracurricular activities that your school has. For example, if you are really interested in arts or you want to become a journalist or be on debate, joining your speech or your theater clubs to help with some of that exploration and enhancing those interests, to get some of that hands-on experience of what you might be doing in a career in that area. It's also important to understand the economic outlook of careers. The economic outlook is a prediction of how the economy will perform in the future. It looks at things like job growth, inflation, how much prices will go up, interest rates, and overall economic growth. Experts use the economic outlook to guess whether the economy will get better, stay the same, or get worse in the coming months or years. So we want students to understand economic outlook and ask themselves, will there be jobs available in your career area? What will your earnings be after college? It's important to understand if they are going into a career that has fast growth, high growth, or low growth, because then they will know what the job market is like for them. If it's high growth, that means that there will be lots of jobs available, easy potential placement for jobs. If it's slow or low growth, that means there's not very many job openings and it's going to be a much more competitive market, and it might take them a while to get into that career field that they want to go into. There are many resources out there to look at the economic outlook of all jobs. U.S. Department of Commerce Occupational Outlook Handbook has some great work as well through the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then in Iowa, you can also look at just specifically some Iowa data as well. So specifically looking at Iowa, there's growing industries and opportunities all throughout the state. We are ranked top 10 in the US for those opportunities for industries as well as work. So it's based on affordability, economic opportunity, and equality. So based on that, Iowa is known as the hub for ag tech and animal health research. It ranks second nationally for wind energy. It's a national leader in the finance and insurance industries. Healthcare, construction, transportation, and computer-related fields are some of the fastest growing segments of Iowa's economy and is the largest employment sector within the state. So what that means is ag tech and animal health research. We are hub for that. So meaning we have a lot of opportunity for students if that's their field. We have a lot of opportunity for in healthcare, construction, transportation, computers. So computer sciences as well. So IT. So if you're looking in those career fields, more than likely you are going to see plenty of job opportunities for students right here within the state of Iowa. Apprenticeships and career training. I have mentioned that there are many forms of education and training after high school. So while education is essential, a four-year degree is not. So trades account for 23% of the US market. In 2025, Iowa had 70,000 openings across the trade industries. The fastest growing markets based on Bureau of Labor Statistics is in advanced manufacturing, healthcare, social assistance, and building and construction trades. It's anticipated that more than 3.8 million jobs will need to be filled by the year 2033 within manufacturing. So again, this does take up or compose a majority of our market. It has a big sector. I know 23%, 25% to fourth almost doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at all career sectors, this is one of the major ones in our economy across the US. So this is an excellent opportunity for students to also ensure that they have education and training, but then have a secure job with availability for them to go into those careers. Again, 88% of Iowa's exports come from that advanced manufacturing sector. So that's a big part of Iowa's economy here. We are the largest industry contributing $38 billion annually to the state economy within advanced manufacturing. We have products, we have areas for ag and construction machinery, medical devices, food products, aerospace electronics, precision machinery, and automation and equipment. So it is not just one field. Many industries utilize manufacturing or advanced manufacturing areas to satisfy their work. So again, it is another great opportunity in the state of Iowa with having an economic boom, having that job security as well. So how can you also do this then within high school? So you have these careers, you've explored these careers. Yes, we've talked about getting that education experience with job shadows and internships, but what else can you be doing in high school? Well, gaining experience in high school is important. It is critical right now for students for that post-secondary work. How can they do this? Through their classes. The classes they take, the subjects they take, give you a preview of the careers that they might go into. This is especially true with those elective classes, whether they take a health class, a family consumer science class, an industrial tech class. Those classes are subjects where it's going to give them a taste of the type of work or material that they would be exposed to within that career. Those extracurricular activities, we've mentioned it, joining those club sports and organizations to gain that experience. Volunteering and job shadows and internships we've already covered. And then there's that part-time employment. Even that part-time work can gain experiences. All of these extracurriculars, volunteering, job shadows, part-time employment, not only can gain experiences for the career they want, but it's also going to give them some important skills like time management, potentially leadership skills, and teamwork, depending on the type of extracurricular activities and volunteering that they do. So this experience in high school has a multifaceted benefit to students to be a part of. Again, we already talked about those job shadows and internships, so we won't go too much more in depth on those. But again, talk to your counselors if you are wanting to partake in job shadows or internships. If parents do know people in different career areas that they're willing to let somebody shadow, you can set those up as well for your students to shadow different people at different companies. So what we always encourage students to do is brainstorm and think about some companies within their area that they could job shadow at, and bring that to your counselors, bring that to your parents, and they might be able to have those connections to set you up. So for example, if they wanted a career in the legal area, they could job shadow in law offices, courthouses, or at the police station. If they wanted to go into marketing or sales, if you have ad agencies or design firms or retail stores right within your community to job shadow at. Medicine, they can go to a doctor's office, a dentist, or a veterinarian's office. Economics or statistics, they have accountants or research firms. Creative artistics, this is your art galleries, your studios, your design firms. In computers or IT, these are going to be any tech company that you have within your community. So just brainstorming some ideas that can help you to solidify, okay, I want to go into this. So what do we have in the community that would be relevant for me, and what companies are out there? When you are partaking in all of these extracurriculars or all of these this experience, job shadows, it's important to also create a activities resume. We encourage students to have these activities resumes, which is a resume that contains all of their extracurriculars, school activities, community involvement, employment, honors, awards that students have had in high school, grades 9 through 12. These activities resumes will list all of those activities, the number of years and leadership that they've held within each of those activities. These activities resume are a great way to show your experiences to potential employers, but also to college applications and scholarships. Many scholarship applications want to know what students have done within school, within the community, as part of that scholarship that they are going for. So if you have an activities resume created and done, you can share that with that scholarship committee or even that college if the college application is asking for it as well. So it's a great way as they are partaking in this, starting their freshman year, to build these activities resumes. If they are a 10th, 11th, or 12th grade year, sitting down, creating this activity resume, and then adding to it each year that they're in school. So they're ready to go later on for those scholarships or those college applications. So we've talked about these careers, but it is important to talk about finding the right fit. Yes, we've talked interests and skills and abilities, but it is important to find the right fit for a student in their career, matching their interests, skills, and abilities. But then it's important to find the right fit for education and training beyond high school. There's three types of fit: academic, cultural, and financial fit. Academic fit: how does the student line up compared for the rigor of that college program? Cultural fit would be how does the student or does that place offer that post-secondary education training, offer what the student wants for their social environment, the town it is in, the community that it has, the extracurriculars, the sports that they have to offer, the social life the student wants. And financial fit: how much debt, if any, are you going to have to go into to go to this school? Post-secondary education and training is an investment in your future. So yes, money might need to be spent to go there, but financially, is it a smart decision to go there? You can become an accountant and go to a state school like the University of Iowa. You can become an accountant and go to a college outside of the state of Iowa, which would be more expensive. Or you could go to even a private college in the state, which might be more or less expensive. Or you could go to an Ivy League school, which is definitely going to be more expensive. All of those will get you an accounting degree. But is it going to financially, which is going to fit you the best as a student in your circumstances? A great tool out there to help find the right fit for colleges based on based on you as an individual, your career that you want to go into, your other individual factors in terms of what you want in the setting, culturally, what type of area you want to be in, is College Raptor. College Raptor is a great tool to help find the right fit for your post-secondary education match. It provides a customized list of colleges to start exploring those options for students. It is a national site. It includes not only four-year colleges, but those community colleges as well, those certificate degree, diploma programs out there as well. So collegeraptor.com is a great resource. You answer some questions about you as an individual. You put in your academic information, meaning what's your GPA, what if you've taken the ACT or SAT, your scores. You put in financially how much you think you can afford to go to college. Are you having any funding to help you go to college? And you put in what you want in terms of location, size, if they need to have certain clubs, organizations, departments, you put that in there, those questions. It produces a list of college matches for you, the student. Like I mentioned, there are many options after high school. You can go into a career tech program, training programs, apprenticeships, 2 or 4-year colleges, or full-time degree. All of these options will lead to a career. You can go into the medical field in any one of these career routes. You can go and to the military and enter into the military, get a health medic job within the military. Once you leave the military, you are ready to go as an EMT or a paramedic. You can do a career training certificate diploma program and be a dental hygienist, or you can go to a 2-year or 4-year college, either one, and get a nursing degree or a registered nurse's degree or an advanced degree. You can go on and become a doctor. So any career field, any route you can take for your career to get education and training. It's just important to find the right level of education for you as an individual that also matches the career you want to pursue. So I have mentioned all of these education and training routes for you already. So it is important to, when you are outlining this work and what you want to do, to also look at your 4-year plan. That 4-year plan that you make in high school outlines the classes to be taken each year of high school. It's that 4-year plan includes all your graduation requirements, but it also needs to include courses that align with your pathway and courses that align with whichever post-secondary education training route you want to take after high school. So it's important to take those core classes. Those are required usually for graduation. Those core classes are English, math, science, social studies. But these core classes, if taking them, not only because they are required for graduation, but by taking core classes, you are significantly more likely to be college and career ready. They build that foundation for college and career. Their focus is for that college level classes. Each year, those core classes are preparing you for that next level of rigor, which give you that solid preparation for college level classes. These core classes are given more attention by college admissions. College admissions like to see students that have taken the English, math, science, all 4 years of high school, and their value in the workforce as well. So other classes can lead to college credits, and the electives are there to enhance your exploration after core classes. So use your clusters, your career that you want to go into to help align those courses and experiences to rule out majors that don't fit you and to find ones that might fit you as an individual. With your education and training, like I have mentioned, in the medical field, there are many different options at all levels of education and training. Like I mentioned, you can go that certified nurse assistant for a short-term 120-hour program. You can become a surgical technician in 2 years for that community college. You can go 4 years to be a registered nurse or beyond to be a physical therapist or a physician. So any one of those areas will keep you in the medical career field, but each has a different level of education and training. So we use that information to map out a 4-year plan for what we need. Knowing if we're going to college, we are going to need certain careers or courses throughout. Many 4-year colleges will look at or need you to take English, math, science, social studies, all years of high school. Some other areas won't require you to take that much math science. Some 4-year colleges will require you to take world language as well. So it's important when you're mapping out these 4-year plans, you are looking at the career you want to go into, as well as the college or post-secondary education training level that you want to pursue for that career. Then it's important to think about affordability. Can you afford that college? What will that salary look like for you? So when looking at going to college, what is your starting salary? Your starting salary should determine your college budget. Once you know what your potential income will be, you can determine how much you can spend or borrow on your education. So, for example, if your starting salary is $40,000, the maximum amount of money you should borrow, if you need to borrow, is $40,000 for your entire degree. Whether it takes you 2, 3, 4 years to accomplish that degree, if your starting salary is $40,000, the maximum you should borrow is $40,000 for that entire degree. You can use tools like Return on College Investment, or called Rocky, from Iowa Student Loan, right on their website. That tool will tell you that if you invest this much in your education, based on the average starting salary for that career, this is the return on the investment. It will be a positive investment, a neutral investment, or a negative investment. Positive investment means, yes, you spent money to go to college, but at the end, your salary is going to be way more than that. So you're going to have a higher return on investment over the lifetime. If it's a neutral investment, that means you spent more probably on that education. And by the end of it, it will negate how much you spent, will equal to how much you paid for college and how much you earned. A negative return would be that you spent more money than what you can make in that career over the lifetime. So that is just a great tool to see type of education or how much you should be spending on that education and training as well. So like I mentioned, it is important to understand your limits. When you borrow money in college, you borrow money year by year. So that first year, it might not look like you're borrowing a lot of money because you don't need a lot for that first year. But anticipate that is how much you're going to borrow if you borrow 1 year for the remaining years of college. So that first year, you might only borrow $10,000 and it seems fine. Yep, only $10,000. That's way less than my starting salary. Or maybe it's even 15,000. But if you're going to school for 4 years and you borrow $15,000 1 year, you more than likely you're probably going to borrow that amount for all 4 years or however long it is you're in college. So 15,000 for 1 year, perfectly fine. But after 4 years, you are now to $60,000. That's more than that $40,000 if your starting salary is 40,000. So you might start running into the difficulties to being able to pay those loans back when it comes time to pay them back when you are making a paycheck within your monthly take-home pay. If you use your starting salary as your limit of how much you can borrow, this keeps your monthly payment around 1% of your monthly gross starting salary. So it's more manageable to be able to pay back those loans if you're having to borrow money. Earn as you learn is another option for affordability. Earn as you learn is where it combines job training, that structured learning, with actual hands-on working in the field. You work besides a professional tradesperson in that career. Your job is complemented by that classroom experience. Earn as you learn, usually through an apprenticeship program, is called that because students are making a paycheck for both work and classes they are taking. They are actually earning money, a paycheck, while they are learning the job or in the classroom for those skills. So earn as you learn is another way for affordability, since oftentimes you are not having to pay for that education and training. So I know this is a lot of information to potentially digest here tonight, but if you do need any additional information, this is a screenshot of our website, icansucceed.org. I have mentioned a few times, you will see in the upper right hand of our website that resource library. All of those materials that I have mentioned or referenced can be found there. You will see right in the middle of our website, you can make an appointment to schedule an appointment with us. So feel free to go to our website, utilize the materials we have, schedule an appointment with us if you have any questions, need help in the college searching process. We are here. I hope you all had a great night tonight, learned something new. As we leave, I do want to mention we also have tip of the week videos, grade level of work, grade level alerts, event alerts that you can sign up through our ICANN e-alerts. You can do that by using the QR code on your screen or going to our website, icansucceed.org/signup. It is also on the main page of our website at icansucceed.org/signup to get those e-alerts sent directly to you to stay informed of what's happening right now with those tips on career and college planning as well. So if there are no questions tonight, I hope you have a great evening. Thank you for joining me tonight in this Wednesday webinar all about exploring careers. Thank you and have a good night.